And it's time right now for the bigger picture with Dr. Dan from Sioux Falls Hypnosis. Welcome, sir.
Hey, thank you very much for having me.
And I'm excited to talk about what we're going to talk about today, because we're going to talk about change, because people are like wanting change. But I love when we were chatting ahead of time, you were saying, sometimes people think that it's information is what they need.
Right.
But that's not always necessarily what we need to actually implement a change, right?
And it's a thing about people. We're looking for sort of the path of least resistance. And information is the path of least resistance. We believe that if we learn the right thing, if we get the right piece of data, if we get the research data says this, or I learned this about my brain, or this is the set of directions or steps I need to do, or this is how to understand this. What we're looking for is information or knowledge or understanding.
How to hack something and come up with a shortcut.
Right, because it's the path of least resistance. And this is the really rocking part. John, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
It makes us feel smart.
I'm going to take a note on that one.
It makes us feel smart, and we love that.
Yeah.
And we like the way that feels.
Yeah.
We get this, we read this, or we hear it on the news. And if you think about it, all of the information that you're getting around you comes packaged in these little informational bites. And then the reason is because people like that.
Yeah.
They love the feeling of that because it makes them feel intelligent. And that really is the gift that keeps on giving. It isn't so much the information that we get.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're looking for, and it's nice to have. But what we're actually looking for is the feeling of being smart that comes with it.
Okay.
That sustains us. That makes us feel like we got something. That makes us feel calmer, more secure, bigger, but whatever it is, for a while.
Yeah. Until
what happens to us, and this happens to us over and over again, is we get that information. We read that book. Yeah. We listen to that podcast. At SiouxFallsPodcast.com. We listen to that podcast. Or we check this out on social media. We heard this or whatever the case is, and they gave us 3 steps. Or they gave us, you got to understand this about whatever. Yeah. And we take that and we're like, yeah, that feels good. I like the way that feels. And then we head out into the world with it, and we're trying to apply it. And that didn't go so hot.
No.
It doesn't work right.
And it didn't work for me. I tried it.
Or it didn't work for me.
And
that, if I had a quarter for every time I've heard that phrase, I tried that, but it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Or I did it and wow, I got some blowback. Or I got some negative feedback or whatever the case is. And then we're like, we're deflated again.
Yeah.
All of that feeling of being smart is gone now.
Yeah.
And the information wasn't what we thought it was. But the interesting point is we never actually learn the lesson that's in there.
Exactly.
We never do. We go right back to the fountain again for another drink. Why? Because that feeling of being smart is actually what we're looking for.
And we think that this next thing is going to be better than that last thing. Mm-hmm. It reminds me, I don't know if you notice this, I always bring movies into the equation here, but it reminds me.
And I love that.
I think it's the movie Something About Mary. I'm almost positive that's the movie where the guy's talking about there's a program called 8-Minute Abs, and he's like, I got this idea for 7-minute abs.
Yeah.
And he thought he was so smart. And then the other guy was like, well, what if somebody does a 6-minute abs? He's like, 6-minute abs, it's a horrible idea. 7-minute abs. But he was like taking this 8-minute abs thing that was super successful, and he was, making it a little simpler.
Right.
And then when he's like, well, what if somebody makes it even more simple and they do 6-minute? And I think so many times we do that. We go, okay, they've got these 5 easy steps for me to be happy. Well, I could do it in 4 easy steps, and
that makes us feel smart, and that's actually the piece.
Yeah,
we're mistaking one thing for the other.
Yeah,
and we're all, and it's like 7-minute abs and 6-minute, because we're all being systematically trained by the world around us, by the internet, by social media, to want it simple, faster, quicker, whatever the case is. And that's what we're looking for. So when somebody comes out with 7-minute abs, everybody will line up and take a crack at it.
Well, that's 1 minute easier than this.
That's 1 minute easier than the last one. Yeah. Rather than recognizing that, again, we never learn the lesson that's inside there.
Yeah.
Which is, we don't need information. What we need is an experience, an emotional experience. Because, okay, you're going to write this one down. Bust out your notebook.
All right.
Everybody out there. People change because of emotional experience, and they justify it after the fact with intellect.
Oh, that makes sense.
The only thing that changes the human being, the only thing that changes the human nervous system, the only thing that changes, period, is emotional experience. Yeah. And then we justify it afterwards with intellect. In other words, we have this emotional experience, and then we tell ourselves how smart we were after the fact. Yeah. And then that's what we believe it was then. Oh, well, I just realized that, or I thought about it, or I figured it out, or whatever the case is. But in reality, it was the emotional experience that you need, which that's And that's a great description for what hypnosis is. Yeah. Hypnosis is a technology by which I help people have the emotional experiences they need to have to learn, change, and become what they want to become.
And I think it makes it a lot easier to implement those changes too when you've got the assistance of the hypnosis. And for me, firsthand, it's made things a whole lot easier because it feels like less work. We found our 6-minute abs. We found the 5-minute abs.
Right.
The 2-minute
and the
abs.
only way to get from your 6-minute abs to your 5-minute abs
Yeah.
is just to get better at your 6-minute abs.
Yeah.
That's it. The experience of doing the 6-minute abs and everything you learn in doing that, that's what you need.
Yeah.
And that will take you where you need to go. And 5-minute abs may not be what you need.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose we need to find something that's right for us. If somebody out there maybe is looking for that thing, they're looking for assistance, they're looking for some help in implementing change in their life, what is the best way for them to connect with you?
You can find us on the internet at SiouxFallsHypnosis.com. You can call directly at 605-702-6691, and you can just Google Sioux Falls Hypnosis, and you'll find us on TikTok and YouTube and all over the place.
Very nice. And if you would like to hear this program again, or if you'd like to maybe catch one of the other episodes that we've done of this program, you can find it at SiouxFallsPodcast.com.